northern estuaries?
Well, it is quite different. The Florida Bay right now gets about between a half and a quarter of the fresh water it did historically. And of course that changes the salinity, which changes everything, the productivity of the entire bay. A lot of this happened in the early 1980s. The South Day Conveyance System, which is the canal system that basically runs along the east side of Everglades National Park through Homestead and down to Florida and Biscayne Bays, was completed in 1984. And that really started some of the damage that we've been seeing in Florida Bay. I started working in Florida Bay in 1989, and I just fell in love with the place. It was just unbelievably beautiful. Emerald green, clear waters. It was just fantastic. I was supposed to be working in Florida Bay for 18 months, and then I was supposed to move up to Gainesville. Well, I never left. You couldn't drag me out of there. But as soon as I arrived, I did start hearing these rumors and complaints, and that much of the seagrass was dying off. And within a year, I saw Florida Bay collapse. So for about 6 months, I got to see Florida Bay for what it was, and then it vanished before my eyes. And that was replaced over the next 4 or 5 years with what they call dead zones. Huge areas of seagrass die off, huge algal blooms, no fish, mangrove die off, high salinity. And from that point on, we started with really thinking about the ecosystem and how important it was, and the economics of that. People were complaining that our economy in the Keys, I mean, that's all we sell. We got two industries. We got basically the commercial fishing industry, which is stone crab, shrimp, and lobster, and they amount to about $50 million a year, and that's 1996 numbers, in landings. Well, all of those depend on Florida Bay as a nursery ground. So once Florida Bay collapsed, so did they. On top of that, our recreation is estimated again in 1996, dollar figures, $500 million a year. And people would just come. I fortunately, I mean, the only good thing I can say that came out of that is I could afford to buy a house. And you could not. There's no way before or after that event I could afford to have bought a house in the Keys. So we start with restoration. Things start getting a little better, and we really saw some improvements. The things that we saw disappear, the osprey, the spoonbills, well, all the wading birds, mullet disappeared. All of these things started to come back, and the bay recovered, and we had our seagrass beds back. And by about 2010, 11, we scientists were kind of declaring, well, Florida Bay has finally recovered after 20 years. Well, then 2014, we got another drought, and I got to watch the bay die twice. The seagrass died off, huge amount of seagrass die off in the Central Bay, and now most of the bay is covered in algae bloom again.